I'm not sure if I explain what happened. I think I do. I think I actually give a brief recap of the game right at the start. So here it comes. Enjoy. And we're back. Maybe a sea monster did this to the plaza. Inland Empire is inspired as ever. Well, anyway, it's been a while since we played this one. Especially if we discount the sneaky playthrough I've done up to day 2 in my own time. Only to go back a little bit, just specifically for content. I'm going to ignore a lot of these dots, and it's because I've learned something about how I can turn them into experience later on. So for now, it would actually be beneficial to leave it at this. There was something about getting a reality lowdown. I'm trying to figure out how that was again. I'm so incredibly broke, by the way. Just noticed I have 4.58 lei. That's not the currency in this game. It's real. Also, I just realized I had to pick up the quest that I was gonna do first. The timelines in my head are mixed up. Let's see if I can actually pick up the quest
Hello
properly.
again, sweetie.
I don't know if you've noticed, I don't know where I am.
Yes, officer. You look rather dazed. Like a stunned fox. But surely things can't be that bad.
She won't judge you, no matter what you say.
No. I drank so hard I literally forgot everything. Is that really the main explanation? You're gonna have an amnesia call when we do something? Like, he fell into the live stream or something?
Oh my. You know where we are, right?
But I guess he just really... I mean, everything about his character just screams alcohol addiction, as the game confirms on many corners and turns, so... Let's see, a war zone at the edge of the world.
It does still look like that in some parts of the city, doesn't it? We are in a hostel called the Whirling in Rags, dear, and the Whirling itself is in the city of Revachol.
I don't know dilly squat about Revachol.
How would I even begin to tell you? Revachol is the most beautiful city in the world. We're fortunate to be here, you and I.
I mean, it's beautifully painted.
I haven't seen very many other cities personally, but everyone says so. Revachol is a rare jewel. This city used to rule the world, though it has seen better days.
Yes, it does have that post-communist, post-apocalyptic beauty to it.
Speaking of history, you know what year it is, yes?
What is this option? I've seen a couple of these doomsayer options. It's a bad year in my late 40s or 50s. I don't even know how old I am. I know it's the spring of 51.
That's right, dear. How splendid. Here, take this pen. Knowledge should always be rewarded.
I don't know where I picked it up. Somewhere.
Her relief is palpable. She was getting pretty worried about you there.
I can tell that this is taxing for you, so I'll just ask one more question. What regime are we living under? What mode of government?
We're governed by intelligent machines. Radios are being used to control people's mind and distort our perception of reality. Concealing our true masters foreign... Uh-oh. That's... What a tweet that is. We are living under the cop regime. Our leaders are fierce warriors. That's a lot of answers to read through. Commie answer. I'm gonna say this.
Actually, we are not. You could say that about almost any other nation, but not Revachol.
Damn it. I was really hoping it would be a cop world. Okay, well, let's see.
Anything else? Oh, there's no good answers, from what I understand so far. Let's see. Intelligent machines.
Oh no, nothing like that, dear. Revachol is a zone of control led by an alliance of foreign powers called the Coalition. We have almost no government of our own. Certainly no machines.
Yeah, from what I understand, the tech is not that advanced. We got a car though. Of sorts.
I don't know. Still looks like there's a lot of hustling going on. Maybe she's wrong. Also,
If there's no government, how come there are cops?
Oh dear, this is troubling. You really ought to know that, being one yourself. There aren't any cops in Revachol, not in the traditional sense. The status of law enforcement has been a complicated matter since the revolution.
Someone's been writing a lot of words. Like the more I play this game, the more I'm mind blown by the sheer amount of text. Yeah, in a positive sense.
But we should stop for today, sweetie. You look like you need a break. Besides, I'm not the best person to explain the big things to anyone.
she's scared
Or
now.
else, yeah.
She's realized you really are brain damaged.
Well, she could join my Twitch audience here. Okay, what is the revolution?
A defeat, I'm afraid. The people of this archipelago tried to build something new, something different. The rest of the world didn't like it, so they came and ended it. This was 42 years ago.
Right. What does it have to do with there not being any cops? Well,
Of
I'm a
course,
cop.
sweetie. I really don't know how to explain it better.
I'm just a poor woman, she thinks. What do I know of these things? And how can I help you?
So how did I do?
You didn't do too well, dear. You really only knew what year it is. It does look like you're having trouble remembering things. History and places. Reality, in a word. It's
I like
very
the big
odd.
A here. I don't know where that came from. Probably from accidentally pressing something on my PS3 controller.
A sigh. The lieutenant buries his nose
Oh,
in his
don't
notebook.
give me that.
But maybe a fresh set of eyes is what the world needs. And while I'm no doctor, such bouts of amnesia are often temporary, so I wouldn't worry too much.
You just need to read up on a wiki page and we're good. Seriously, there's a fuck ton of stuff that I forgot from history class. What does it matter? What does it matter? I don't know what happened 50 years ago at this point. Only have vague ideas of.
Someone more educated in sweeping matters. Maybe you...
No, I'm not an encyclopedia. I won't be a guide either. I'm a detective.
Oh, you do follow me around the whole day as time is frozen, so you have all the so-called time in the world.
Of course. Then I don't know. Someone...
Let's go. What do we have now? New. There. That's the one we wanted. I need. What does it say? Perhaps try a rich person. Yes. But also let's try a plastic bag, because that was something I forgot to pick up. And I overlooked for the longest time, my first time here. Again, I just only played till day 2, so... Did I have a thought? I don't have as much as a thought. Why? Oh, yeah, and there it is. That was an important... That was an important song. Oh, I hear a police arrive. It is. Hope they're as fashionable in disco as Mr. Dubois. Oh yeah, that is another time. I actually have had a soft introduction to the game through another streamer. I kind of knew a few things, but I actually had no idea what the lore of the world was about. I really thought it was a prank at some point, when I started out at least. And I thought, oh, it's fictional pranks. No, it's fictional completely something else. And what it really is, we're hopefully gonna learn from this lady on a boat. She must be rich. She has a boat. Top logic. Lovely young lady. Very pronounced cheekbones. A handsome woman. This one. Joyce Meche. She really looks like she would be one of the eligible marriage candidates if this were Star Disco Elysium Valley. Good afternoon, I'm Joyce. I didn't hear that line because my sound was muted for a while for the game.
Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
Okay, what does the L stand for?
My maiden name.
Shake her hand for this time.
I'm glad to see you here.
Hi, and cold grip. I mean, it is... Yesterday it was snowing, so understandable.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in the...
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual...
None of her business.
There's a trace of irony in his voice. Mischief, even. The lieutenant is hatching some scheme.
Is he?
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines Group.
Yes, the Wild Pines Group is the distribution company that the union is currently protesting against.
It's hard to get a read on her
Or on
precise
strike,
disposition, but she appears helpful.
What can you tell me about the strike? You seem rich. Can I have some money?
Is what you want to say, but it isn't that easy, is it?
Well, I really need the money, though.
Look at that lady. Take a gander. Squint your eyes, bub.
Lustrous hair.
A well-kempt, yet tastefully short bob of dark hair.
Quite wavy.
Despite the first hints of grey, she's elected to keep it au naturel, shaped into a permanent wave, late 40s style.
Well, I mean, first hints, the hints are quite pronounced, sure.
Positively statuesque, while dull orange pearls hang from her earlobes, red from the cold. Her light green eyes scan you, full of knowledge and worry. Wealth and all its possibilities.
Give me the damn money.
Now look at you. You miserable
Oh,
clad
don't
simian,
Old Spice commercial
barely
me.
able to tie your own laces. Your armpits are lakes. A scythe of booze precedes you. Your hair sticks to your forehead, and your underwear feels
Excuse me, I haven't drank since at least last night. Okay, I'm half a day sober.
You're poor. Poor as balls. You can't ask this person for money. You're too...
I'm a goddamn working man. I'm not ashamed to shake this leech for some dough. As I should be for even considering it. No, she wears the trousers here, so she's equal parts eligible to earn money, as I am. I'm not ashamed. What is this feeling? I've never felt it before. No, I'm still not feeling it.
You think your little communism protects you from this feeling? No. The
Oh,
more
shut
demeaning
up.
it is to grovel at her feet.
With communism. That's just wanting to have a roof to sleep under.
Oh God, the lieutenant is here too. Do not.
As I was saying, if there's any way I may be of assistance, please don't hesitate to ask.
I want money! Up!
I am sorry. It just doesn't come out of your mouth. What does is.
Give me the money.
Excuse me? I didn't hear you. Did you say money? Of course.
Fuck these rolls. Fuck these roles. Why do you start out as such a mess of a person? Not a neutral person. Like, sure, you may not have skills and everything, but just the negative charisma voids of booze smells and soggy underpants, apparently. Right. No money. I'm gonna have to wait for Kim. Well, it kind of was to be expected. So, tell me about Wild Pines. I'm gonna skim through some of these things. It is a very, very extensive dialogue tree, so we'll be here all hour at this rate. Tell me about Wild Pines.
What we do. I'm afraid I don't speak for
What
Wild
do they
Pines.
do?
The Pines' core competency is logistics.
Logistics.
And that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms.
And how much money does your logistics company make?
I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year, the company booked more than 20 billion real in revenue.
Exactly, I might be an investor. You may want to know that.
A billion?
Okay, so my knowledge sucks just like in real life. Let's keep it that way. The money I owe is so much less than that.
Yes, past a certain point, numbers begin to seem imaginary. But they are quite real for the 72,000 employees who depend on Wild Pines for their paychecks. A conglomerate the size of Wild Pines is like a shark. If it stops moving and growing, it will die. Then what becomes of those 72,000 families? It is a tremendous responsibility.
Right? You don't need to tell me I'm not the government that you try to get tax cuts from. Okay, where does Wild Pines get all these billions?
They started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samaran and Insulindian Isolas 250 years ago, when pine ships explored
not
the
in this
South
world.
Simonese and charted Lormantang on behalf of the suzerain.
A suzerain is a nation controlling another nation. I had to look it up before because, you know, guess what? Encyclopedia failure. The rest of this, without a world map, I'll struggle with. But something international trade, clearly beyond the borders of this island and city.
Centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone
Right.
into this endeavor.
Spare me that.
Vessels pass through the Great... You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners? Who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo?
8% of all cargo in the world? Let's suck up to her a little bit. Let's not go full communist just yet. Company is nothing without... I'm not here. I need to stand for anything. I just want to solve a case and sober up. And get some money.
There are no minor cogs in the system. Each terminal must be accounted for, lest the entire system break. Every hiccup in such a system means thousands lose their jobs.
There she goes again with the...
Hopefully, says her warm tone.
I'm here to show that doesn't happen. Says a warm tone. Oh, nice. She really believes in this. It's not just purely heard of billions. Maybe we can add to this by talking with her a bit longer. It opened up again. It opened up again. Hmm. Let's talk more with this lobbyist incarnation. What do you know about these tattoos on the dead body?
That's the man who was killed.
Yeah, so do you know anything
Better
about
not
it?
tie the fourth day to the backstay on this. I hope there is something else I can help you with.
What do you mean? Why something else? This is the fucking case I'm working on.
She wants to answer the question. Protocol keeps her from it.
Oh, so what are they, like, are they company slaves? What can you tell me about this strike?
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets.
What is your role in this precisely?
I believe the official title is Senior Labor
Negotiator.
Negotiator.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place.
That is weird because you'd think at this point, all the union men, at least that is the strand of thought here, they must have been responsible for the lynching. And now we hear that they actually stopped negotiating after the lynching. Why would they do that? You'd think they would be in a stronger position to negotiate because they're like, here, look what happens if you try to fuck us over with this strongman, sending in some weird strongman. Well, anyway, overthinking it. I don't know this plot yet, by the way.
Now they won't even let me into the harbor. There's a 2-meter 20 racist behemoth blocking the gates.
I actually met him. How were the talks going before the lynching?
Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when
And when did you...
I arrived
Right.
3 weeks ago.
Eh.
Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer
It
to
was
do
still
these
freezing
things on
yesterday, by the way.
site, like the RCM.
Actually, this morning I saw a lot of snow. I swear there was snow. Now it's raining, but... Oh look, time has passed. For the first time in 3 months. It's now... quarter past instead of 10:02. Okay. Well, she
But
is
the
eating a
strike
lot of
began
time.
in December.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
So again, hold on. Hold on, what's the timeline here? Hold on, I'm gonna pause this for a sec. For you guys. Strike began in December. And she arrived only 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, they already hit a wall with the previous negotiator. And then they seized all negotiations a week ago when the body was found. Or after the hanging, whatever. But did they or did they not negotiate in those 2 weeks? I shouldn't be thinking so much. This is not really a murder mystery, in case people don't know this. It's a personal drama. It's a tragedy, I think, or I think it's more of an emotional breakdown of a washed up cup. But just assuming. Also, a lot of lore building. I found out later, and we'll see some traces of that in the game soon, that this all started as a tabletop RPG style setting. And now I'm definitely seeing the Baldur's Gate in this. And the crafting of the lore and everything, which is intriguing to say the least, but honestly I need a map, otherwise don't talk to me about place names.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike.
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan.
Right.
This time their demands are more I guess you could say, aggressive.
Aggressive, right? But I was with Mr. Gaumont during the first two strikes. Probably they were striking for better conditions, working conditions. They work for the Shady Pines. And they're fed up with them. Well, fuck work. The scabs at the gate. Did you put them there? The scabs are the ones that, so to speak, want to work despite the strike. Now, their leader, as I found out, and I may omit this from the recording, so that's why I'm recapping that. Had some mismatching clothes that made it look as if he was just planted there. I think that was the implication, that he's not really a worker. The clothes just didn't quite fit him. They seemed cobbled together. So there is a very strong indication that he is a corporate plant trying to rally support against the strike. And supposedly the word for that sort of person would be scab, although that could just be a normal worker as well. What happened to this guy?
Mr. Clare told him to... How did he put it? Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see.
Not cool. Also, Mr. Clare is really no place to
Keep in mind,
talk about people's
this
appearances.
is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union.
Sounds like usual aggressive posturing.
I think authority is not a very reliable narrator.
The scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrog, come
Yeah,
to plead for
right.
work where the union refuses to? If they were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret.
They're
It's
so
implied
organized.
She's open to discussing this matter
They are
with you
so
at
planted.
a later occasion.
I mean, mismatched clothes, everyone.
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Every worker, a member of the board.
I like that for video companies, because if that had been the case for the company that made this game, the original creator would still own his IP and not have been bought out and ousted through scrupulous, possibly illegal means by a dodgy investor with a record of committing investment fraud. Real life story, real life lore behind the game and the company, by the way. The original core artistic team behind it has been ousted from their own company, as it has been hijacked by dodgy investors, and they had some weird false pretenses, or, you know, you can always find an excuse to fire someone if they get a bit critical of your business practices. But long story short, they got kicked to the curb and their IP got stolen. Would have worked better if I think everyone had been equal part of the company leadership and not just whoever was the majority shareholder. Everywhere, it seems like I have no idea about business. Forget I want to ask. I like it.
Then you might also like their other slogan. Demand democracy.
Not hard communist enough for me. Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Personally, I don't think it has the same pizzazzo as every worker a member of the board.
Oh, what did they mean?
It's quite simple, you see. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about what? About
That
anything,
doesn't sound
really,
right.
it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its
That's
master
only
base
if they
terminal.
get veto rights as individuals. That's not true. That's not quite true. You can have a majority vote on it.
Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
Sounds like you need to split up because it's getting a little bit too big. It's like maybe we don't need this kind of conglomerate, you know, this massive amalgamation. Nobody says you need to have that many terminals, and you cannot just split it up into multiple companies, etc., etc. Sounds a bit like Monopoly. Although it was only 8% of the trade, so I don't know. Long live the workers can't begin. That's pretty funny, I have to admit. I just gonna move on from this. I don't feel like any of these answers reflect my nuanced opinion.
I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position. A hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same.
I'm very
now.
curious to hear from what the union, what they say about it.
Here. Behind the whirling in rags. A disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the bowyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, "Call me mañana."
I met the guy. Kinda nice. Has a clog nose. Sounds a bit like he was voiced by Kid Boga sometimes.
This checks out.
Tell me about this union boss, because in this timeline I haven't met him yet, even though I certainly know about him and his shitty chair.
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first.
Really?
Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
He can't be that bad.
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
Wait, there's two of them?
Yes. Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does. And when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over.
We got some Kaczka twins, like these Polish prime ministers. Got some of these former Polish prime ministers on our hands here. Keep in mind, Eastern European produced game. And those duck twins already exist. I mean, I'm sure Estonia has heard of them.
It's how they circumvent
Even
the
I
term
have.
limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues.
Okay, what about the union itself?
The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution.
That we could
20
control.
years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that.
Emergency
Organised
what?
labour at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say?
A mob.
A
The
mob.
Débardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, I suspect we'll be forced to cooperate with them.
Okay, I didn't know that. Officially.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but
Did I?
I'm afraid
I'm not
our
sure what I'm
concessions
supposed
have
to know.
only emboldened Everard and his brother. And your opinion, detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Débardeurs Union is...
Seems to be an effective advocate for the rights of local working men, but I want to get money from her, so I don't know. I don't have an
Of course,
opinion.
officer.
What happened in the
I'm
elections?
glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the union. She disappeared.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore. Or coming to work. Ever. End
Hey,
of...
must be
Indeed.
extortion.
The company suspects foul play, but there's nothing they could do. It was a union matter.
Funny though to see the company a little powerless. Normally it's like the workers are powerless. Yes, the union is corrupt, but it's just kind of nice to see the playing field a little bit evened, even if they're both assholes.
The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
Right? That's all I need.
Of course. How else can I help?
Heard of billion, still 58%. I don't know. I may come back later. It's a lot of dialogue options. Give me a lowdown about this reality we're in.
This reality.
No time to explain. Get in the car. Let's see.
No, but please. A little context. We're not in such a hurry.
Oh god. You have to come out.
What?
I went on a 3-day bender, and now you need to explain the world to me. A supernatural event took place within my head on alcohol. Please let me say it again. Thank you.
Such an acute encephalopathy. Just doesn't seem possible. Surely you're joking.
I also thought it wasn't possible. So far they're playing this trope straight. I really thought it was going to be a different twist to it, but there's no indication so far that it is anything besides drug and alcohol.
Don't be phased, madame. He functions perfectly well. He only needs a lowdown on all of reality.
We may be here a while then. Ask away, officer. I'll help
Let's take it in small
Alright,
bits.
we're in. I know these all look good, but begin with the first, okay?
What is this? Reach for something fundamental? That's a very low. Those are very low checks. Right, then let's say where are we?
We're in Martinez, baby.
Baby, what?
A casual term of endearment popular among the 50-plus crowd. It's a disco holdover, pay it no heed.
I suppose he's a disco holdover himself.
Aren't we all? Martinez is a district of Revachol. A very small district tucked away near the industrial harbour. North of the 881 and Jamrock.
Right, Jamrock is supposedly another district, and an 881 would be a highway.
You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten, even. Shelled to smithereens during the Revolution.
God, she's been talking for almost
It
30
has
minutes.
its charms, just not this time of year.
Jesus.
I'm not a good ambassador. I've only been here once before, as a teenager. Not a lot has changed.
It's a good thought to
There are
have.
ruins, a terminal, fishing boats, reeds,
Oh, she's still talking.
boys with boxy
Oh god, are you still
shoulders.
talking? Oh, alright.
This place used to be a province.
Right, it's
A
the
workers' resort
it's Skid
before
Row.
the city
There you
swallowed
go.
it and the artillery did its work. The reeds are the real star of the show here now. The further down the coast, the wilder it gets.
There's gotta be some kind of corpse in those reeds. It's not the only time the reeds are mentioned. Okay, what sea is this?
It's not really a sea, it's the Bay of Revachol. And the bay feeds into the ocean. Yes, we're on an island in an ocean. The world's largest body of water, the Insulindic.
She did mention this before. Something of with trading with. Sorry. I already forgot what she said. Apparently, if this is his memory.
Vast, lukewarm, and unknowable,
Oh, shut up with your
flowing in
nonsense.
and out of sight.
Okay, that's Martinez. What's Revachol? What's the name of this island?
Caillou.
Okay.
Imagine a pebble. A smoothed over pebble amidst a great blue sea. Misshapen, cracked. The cracks are the River Esperance. We're in the delta of this river, on the 6th branch. The Martinez distributary.
Right, so we're in the city of Revachol, district of Martinez, on the island of Caillou, in the Insulindic Ocean. I'll be quizzing you guys on that soon.
It is clear this pebble is of enormous value to her.
What's Revachol?
Revachol? Revachol is what you call a city.
What kind of city?
The great kind.
As if it's self-explanatory, beyond patriotism, a fact.
What makes it so great?
History detective. They built this city to resolve history. Our part in it, at least. Our centuries.
Okay, when?
In the DeLorean century.
Who built it?
The nations of the Occident, or migrant workers from Semenine and Ile Marat, depending on your creed.
Why would it resolve history?
They say it's where the terrible questions of our time will be answered. The tensions are
It
highest,
says that.
the fault lines deepest.
Nobody would say that.
By that I mean conflicts. Ideological conflicts. The stuff of men.
So why here? Because we're a central location, or?
We are standing on a fertile, self-sufficient island able to sustain up to 200 million people in the middle of the Insulindic Ocean, the world's connective tissue. It's where the money is.
So we're at the center of the world.
Oh, we're quite a way off. About 22 kilometers from the center of the world. That soldering iron
Close
is the
enough for
bank
me.
of the world building. The bottom floors are Insiacom. Coalition government, Insulindian Mission Command.
Silence. She
Okay, we
lowers her
look to the
hand.
sea.
The water, the light. It's as though there
Right,
is no
let's
recognition.
get on with it.
Only the immensity of the sea and the cold radiating from it.
Say nothing. Or where are we exactly? I guess it's just... What do you mean by that?
We are where we are. I have no truer answer to give, unfortunately.
This is the one I needed. The thought.
This is one thought you need to complete. Where are you?
Was there something else you wanted to know?
This has been informative. Thank you, ma'am. I'm sure my memory-impaired partner has many more questions to ask. Might I suggest not asking them all right now?
Exactly.
Absolutely. My commitment here is long-term.
I mean, I would have all the pages in the world by myself, but I don't want to have like an hour of just this wavy-haired grandma with a Sherlock Holmes cloak. Enough Hillary for now, teaching me about the virtues of capitalism. Lock her up. But won't I be lazy if I don't do it all now?
Oh, of course not. You are already diligent for getting this far, and diligent boys remember where they left off.
How deliciously patronizing.
Indeed. I'm always at your service.
Okay, that's fine.
Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know. Anything else?
No, I'm already drained. TMI. Jesus. Still only heard of billions. We're gonna get that volition up and get that money.
Of course, detective. Take.
Good stuff. Let's internalize this. This one I abandoned, I think. I don't know if I want this. Indo tribes. I assume those are just international companies. Royal monopolies, octopuses, and swordfish. Most of them gone now. Isn't one big company missing? No, there were only 14. Then why do you feel like it was a 15th Indo tribe? There's no solution to that one yet. Well, anyway, this one is really good because it gives you an experience bonus for clicking on the little observational orbs around the world. Like this. So I'm gonna leave that one alone for now until that thought is done cooking. And it was also the main reason why I skipped ahead to her instead of just doing this on day 2, because honestly, the information you get out of her is mostly lore based for now. Jamais vu. Name after name, and none of them is familiar. They seem real, but something is wrong. You feel like a kid looking at stickers on a fridge. You can almost see your hand reaching out for these names and words, blah blah blah. Scratch at the corners of these stickers, see if they peel loose. This feels like the most important of all the thoughts, the one you went through. I think this was actually an update. In an update, I'm not sure, but there was a Jamais Vu update, so I can imagine this thought was introduced there. They even really push it towards completing it for its bonuses. Turned out it's the most useful one, so I'll definitely be doing that. I have a mildly convincing theory that Kuno is actually Elmo. Their names both have 2 syllables. They both end in O. He hangs out in the street all fucking day. He has Stockholm Syndrome with his stupid friend in yellow. He's got a red theme going on with the hair. Talks about himself in the 3rd person. And I don't know, he thinks he's some kind of badass. Talking mad shit with his big mouth, just like Elmo does. Hey, Kuno got new shoes. Kuno like to fly. Kuno can fly in the sky like the birdies do. Shut the fuck up. You don't know shit about Kuno. I punched Cookie Monster in a fucking dick. Basically. There you go, right in the dick. Indeed. Fuck that Cookie Monster up. Now, where were we? Trash container.
This trash container is locked.
It is.
There's something in there, not necessarily connected to the case.
Why am I looking at you, trash container? Why am I looking at you?
Well, it is a container. Maybe you're prioritizing it.
What do you think could be in there?
Food waste from the cafeteria. They lock these containers to keep the derelicts from flocking in. Could be
A reasonable assumption. Oh, evidence. Evidence, yes. How do we get it open?
We could try using a pry bar, the one you took from my motor carriage, or...
No, or... pry bar.
We might want to ask for a key from the manager of the Whirling in Rags. He probably has one. And he also has information.
Okay, pull it.
Force time isn't happening. You've jammed the pry bar under the lid, but it just isn't bending.
This is guaranteed to take something off my health. The fuck kind of metal is this? This is fucking shit. Kuno is now the main character. Kuno's now a capo. Kuno's a pig now. This is fucking shit.
The quality of metal is not the problem. From what I see, it's sturdy enough.
He's enjoying your little failure. He finds it amusing. He's reveling in sweaty rage on your face.
That's why I'm an entertainer. You have to play up the rage. Let's entertain him some more. Let's just really play it up for the subs.
There's a creaking sound as the pry bar slips under the lid. You hang from it like a moron, huffing and puffing. Clearly the technique is wrong, but nothing else comes to mind.
Okay, let's kick it. I don't care about my health.
unsatisfying, hurtful. You hear a ringing sound, but not quite hollow.
Was worth it,
The
man.
can seems
Let's ask the manager for the key. This is clearly not working.
Good job, Copo. We don't have anything to heal with, but you don't need it. Alright, manager time it is. Look at you guys, you're making me do all this dumb shit. And I still have to talk with this ass clown, this chinless pupillism of wonder.
Can I help you?
Is the trash container out back yours? Mine?
No, it belongs to the Whirling in Rags.
Thank you for clearing that up. Why do you keep the container locked?
Why? To keep the hobos and drunks out. That's why. And the neighbors too. They put their trash there and they don't pay for the garbage company.
I thought as much. And are you the only party with access to the trash container?
Well, yes. Us and the garbage disposal company.
It seems a little callous, doesn't it? Something stirs in you.
I wonder what feeling this is.
Prod at him and find out.
Doesn't it seem callous to you? I don't think it's callous. But...
Callous? What are you? Kras Mazov? Almost all establishments in Revachol keep their trash locked. The Whirling in Rags
Razmazov is their equivalent of Marxism, of the Marxist guy who was probably called Kras Marx in real life.
Education. Krasmazov,
there you go.
was an economist
through the roof.
and a historical materialist.
So he does know
was
that.
a leading figure on the Grad side of the Centennial Revolution, where he headed the 9-day government. Mazov is considered the father
How
of
many days?
scientific communism,
Encyclopedia?
Mazovian thought, or Mazovianism.
Alright. On the Grad side of the Centennial Revolution. What was Grad? Oh well, regardless. I thought the revolution was just here in Revachol. Maybe I am? Yeah? Gotta be that.
What are we talking about? Was this not about the
Oh, I
trash
was
container?
asking myself. I was asking the encyclopedia, not you, Kim. No, wait. What if I am Kras myself?
We should return to this theory at a later time, officer. This here was about the trash container.
Yeah, but sure. Just saying. Weirder things have happened. Not so far, but they could. Could have happened. Weirder things could have happened. We need those keys.
What for? Mazov? Are you planning to nationalize my trash container?
No, it's what for, Mazov. What for, Mazov? Dumbass.
It concerns the case. Please cooperate.
Just bring them back once you're done, please.
Maybe Mazov was the friends we made along the way. Maybe it was Earth all along. Oh, okay, back to the trash container. I'm sorry, is an irritating way of walking, I'm sure. No.
This trash container
Like a champ,
is
I'm going
locked.
to open this
The
properly
sliding
with
lid
keys.
has a padlock that says, "Whirling in Rags," with a well-oiled. Don't. Maybe you shouldn't.
I will.
Of course you should. This is your time to shine, Hobocop. Dive into that dumpster for extra content.
I did not have the Hobocop's thoughts still internalized, did I? Nope. Also, this one was a good one. Apparently. Can make extra money. I do need some kind of spoilers. Cheesing. I can seriously not stand fucking up good opportunities. Although sometimes I cannot stand resisting an opportunity to kick an item and get a heart attack.
There is, but you won't like it. Sweat forms on your brow. Your hand is still on the lid.
I will like it. I'm gonna open the fucking lid. I will like it because it allows me to... well, we'll see. You'll see. To move on from this.
The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
I'm gonna complete it.
We're just in time. This hasn't been emptied for over a week.
Look at... Got extra content time.
Wow, an Armistice caliber 50 knock cannon. Half wrapped in paper tissues. So shiny.
Oh, he's not actually diving in. What's a knock
It's
cannon?
a giant rifle, and it's very expensive. Not as expensive as that fat string of pearls snaking around the rotten banana peels, however.
Is the trash container talking trash and pulling my leg?
And is that Cordon Electric's preamp with Electra F2 tubes? It is. That catches quite a price. We're talking 12,000.
Trash containers.
Easy. Unless you're into hi-fi yourself.
It's taking the mickey out of me. How do you say that? I'll sell it.
No, you won't. Because none of those things are real. They're not actually in there. All you see is food waste and crisp wrappings.
That's addressed.
All you see is a broken mug with a racist depiction of the yellow man frolicking in saffron.
Oh, that will be a nice gift. Imagine that being... I mean, I don't need to imagine it. He probably is that fucking stupid. Take it for an antique?
Only in its social sensibility.
Just like this stream is only a stream in its social sensibility. Boxes.
You see milk and egg rest with one broken egg in it. Some
The A
pasta
button is
wrapper.
back in full
Picking up the
force.
soggy packages somehow feels
The mention
familiar.
of the A button. Soggy packages,
A
yes.
box falls into pieces in your hands. Batiste Soleil cereal. There are plastic pasta packages.
Alright, pick up
below.
the rags.
Among the threadbare kitchen towels, something catches your eye. A pair of denim trousers.
Oh, that will do.
As the legs of the slime-covered jeans begin to unspool from the garbage, a rank corpse smell fills the air.
Oh. I take it I cannot just wear them.
The victim's clothes? Cadaverine odor is faint. If these belong to the deceased, they were removed when he was still in the early stages of decay.
Right. But how? See, if he was being hung, and he had these big-ass fucking boots on and everything, quite difficult to remove boots after he's dead. In which case, he must have been dead before he was hung. There you go.
Drop them in here, officer. Guitar marked blue jeans. Pockets empty or emptied. He wore them with a belt, too. A white belt. The loops appear stretched, but
The loops on the jeans so the belt goes through? Right.
the belt is missing. That's it. Do you see anything else in there? I have another bag here.
Something slimy catches your eye.
Well, given that nothing unhygienic seems to bother him, or not damage his health,
A drab, long-sleeved shirt, olive-colored, appears from the food waste, dripping with pus.
This is a military-type overgarment. No label or serial number. This is the kind of rib-knit shirt that's worn over light armor to conceal it in an urban scenario. Anything more?
so again, it belonged to the deceased.
The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste. Just garbage.
Oh, this banana is sight. It's ironic because I can tell what it fucking is just by looking at it. I think that's all.
All right. We should go to Gart again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard.
Right?
Or that one. I'd advise against confronting that force.
Elmo don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I'm standing right here. I can hear you talk shit, you fucking pig.
The lieutenant nods, then looks back into the trash container.
Food waste? We haven't sniffed and touched every slimy surface yet.
It's just organic waste, cold and slimy on your hands. Apple and potato peels mostly.
And it's cold.
Unidentified sludge.
Just so you know,
and the
because it's
occasional
pretty
chicken bone
pretty
thrown
chill.
in for good measure.
Was half
Hey.
frozen, then melted. It's gonna be extra moist and cold.
Nothing. It's nothing. Nothing more to see here. What's this?
Inland Empire, that is not your job to tell me when there's nothing there. The fact that he's even saying anything about it. Him being Inland Empire. Her being Jada Smith. you know there's some shit. Okay, okay. What?
A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels.
Yes!
It's shiny. Looks like the corner of something.
She's got it!
Something large.
I think that line is
A
actually
clipboard.
somewhere in the game.
A blue plastic clipboard with moist
She's
papers
got
hanging
it!
from it. They look badly damaged, but you can still make out forms and notes, written in a man's handwriting.
Man's handwriting, I see.
Officer, is that your paperwork?
I don't know what this is.
It is. Look, the plastic has the RCM street grid on it. You've even got an autopsy form in there.
A miserable looking slip of paper sticks to the board.
If you don't mind my asking, how could you have let your paperwork end up in the trash?
It has a foreboding quality to it. Maybe I needed to lose it for the great bloodletting to begin. Is this some kind of... I don't actually know this, because I never picked these answers, but... Does this make you an apocalypse cop? I didn't want to be a cop anymore. That's why I try to flush my cop life down the toilet. I'd rather not talk about it right now. Let's try the apocalypse cop one. I swear if I'm right, I don't know. Some things I do know, some options I've never picked, so...
What are you talking about?
I speak with the tongue.
Doeth thou also thorough inventories? You should take stock of your notes. Make sure it's all there. Official notes contain informants' names. If some of it has fallen into the hands of the RCM's adversaries...
He's so done with me. This portrait has never been more apt than with this current playthrough. Okay, so make stock of your notes. Official notes contain informants' names. If someone... No, that is... Oh, come on. Come on. You're asking me all these questions while the biggest enemy of mankind is standing here, or actually behind the fence. Holy shit, that is one hell of a fucking creature there. Okay, I'll do that.
It would also not hurt to start taking notes on the case. Now, tell me what your eagle eyes see. Or are we finished?
I think we're done.
Some items, such as the ledger you found, are interactable.
Good.
The container sounds a muffled gong.
And we should go to interact with it. I've yet to interact with it. First I'm gonna look for some healing items.
That's one thing off the list. I think we got it all.
Off camera. Wait,
The
just
trash
open the lid
container.
again.
The smell of rotten food rises to greet you.
Doesn't look like
You see soggy
anything to me.
cartons, dirty rags, and
So I found the victim's clothes.
How strange. I certainly didn't put them there.
Is it quick to deny? Could someone on your staff have put it down? Who else has keys to the trash container?
The trash collection service? CS Municipal. I don't see why they would put anything in the trash, though.
Are they part of any union? That doesn't mean... I don't think they're part of the dog workers union. Never mind.
Ah, the elusive CS Municipal. I doubt we'll be able to track down who was sent here last and when. This will have to be one of those little threats that solves itself down the road. Thank you anyway.
Someone of your staff?
Sylvie had the keys before I got here, and I can vouch for her. I can vouch for all my staff. None of us would tamper with the crime scene.
Thanks, let's talk about something else.
Yes?
He's too busy fucking his bird anyway to tamper with the crime scene. Can I seen him? Can I seen him stick his chinless cock in the bird and fuck it brains out? That's how it got all stuffed. He stuffed with this fucking dried comic bird it is. Allons-y. I think I haven't really interacted with this yet.
This Post
It's,
Lavantelier mail collection box has been heavily vandalized with graffito. A closer inspection reveals 2 bullet holes in the front.
That's always very cozy. I love this town. At every turn, every corner, there's bullet holes somewhere. Good day to the food. You know what? Yes, pet him. Nice sound effect. Nice little
The box
echo.
seems happy.
Good. Does it speak Couponese?
Eat shit, pig. Fucked by the coon. And St. G with a crown have been scribbled on it. Jenny is a whore, and best set mailbox also.
When Koen is pronounced without the O at the end, it's obvious that he's actually got a Dutch name, or his name is derived from Dutch. When I looked up the character, his last name is De Ruiter. And Koen is a Dutch name, not spelled like that, but pronounced like that. So I'd rather not claim him, but what can you do? So he's got all sorts of vandalism, trace of vandalism. I've been there. Post Laventurier mail collection box.
The mail collection box
Yeah, it's
seemed
good,
cathartic.
because I
Thankfully
liked
then,
it.
So do you. You shudder. Then you swallow.
I'm glad you appreciated that. I'm always being nice to objects. You know, practice kindness. It's easy to practice it on objects because they don't necessarily will take advantage of it. Now we're getting somewhere? I still need a map, by the way. Now, I could buy one, but I'm just gonna save scum until I can steal it. And yes, I have tried and done this before.
Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board. The maps look old and faded.
Oh, wait a second, let me actually save first to scum it. There it goes.
Several maps have been... The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda, a map of Revachol, and a map of
We
Martinez.
definitely won't be exploring those places. Just this neighborhood.
It's not really a map. It's a tourist thing. A picture postcard with buildings on it, drawn from an isometric perspective. A date in the upper right corner says 48. Still, it's detailed. Could be pretty useful for scouting ahead. You see the jagged boxes of
Yeah,
an
for figuring
industrial
out
harbor,
where the white
even
checks were again.
rolling in rags there.
Can I buy these maps?
I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martinez is
Oh,
the
her
only one
voice.
available.
Sorry,
The
I'm
other-
gonna
they're
skip what
quite
she
valuable,
says.
Though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though.
Why is it so cheap?
That old thing. It's an out-of-date map of a tourist location that never was nor came to be. From when some design studio people tried
Oh
to
gosh, there's
spruce
so
the
much
place
dialogue.
up 4 or 5 years ago. They also renovated the horse statue, set up those coin-operated viewers, and designed the new street lamps. They didn't get
I never
that
have
far.
money to waste
some
on the
reason.
coin-operated
A
viewers.
shame the project never got going. Would be nice if someone fixed Martinez up. All these ruins are bad for business.
Alright, we may have to skip through her horrible voice 4 more times at this rate, because 1 in 4 means after 4 times you're guaranteed to get it. That's how it works.
You peek at the storekeep,
Oh, thank
waiting
God.
for her to be distracted. When she's not looking, you deftly rip the map off the
Such a
bulletin
shitty old
board
postcard.
and pocket it. You're now the proud owner of a map of Martinez,
I'm
which,
still quite a
to
lot
be honest,
short of
did
the
not even
cost
cost
of
that
the
much.
hotel. Yeah, there are not really any monsters to grind, you know? Nothing to farm here. Right, look at the map of Insulinda.
This large map displays archipelagos.
Archipelagos.
You see a constellation of small dots on the
I will
light blue
summarize it after
emptiness
he's done
of the
talking.
Insulindic.
Alrighty, so we were in the Insulindic Ocean on an archipelago, the island Caillou in the northeast. And then we have, so supposedly the northeast azimuth, I suppose that's where we're located, along with Mazov. Once Grad was the name of this place. So now we know what that is. Samara is the east, okay. And they call it azimuths Isolas, or is that just a... I don't know exactly. Now I struggle with the concept of an azimuth to begin with. Lots of encyclopedia legendary failure in this one. Here you go. Impossible even. What is this? Worlds past the Insulindian. What's that? Look, I don't teach you about azimuths in streamer school. What can I say? It's actually just clown school by another name. So what did you expect? I'm not sure if it's like continents or if it's just a geographical indicator, but sure. At some point I will find out what the lore is in as far as it matters exactly.
The north coast of a verdant island is shattered by the delta of a river. It is the River Esperance. Countless bridges put the shards back together, connecting city blocks to
We already heard
to the
something
east,
about that.
Rolling hillsides, Le Jardin, Stella Marie, the suburbs of Saint
The right
Prudhomme.
east is rich on this island.
Not bad. Then there's Jamrock. It's bad. People shouldn't live there, but they do. Then Forburg.
And the west is a shithole.
Almost as bad and much larger. Then Coal City.
Right,
It's the
east of the
worst.
river, rich. West of the river, poor as fuck. Does that make sense? Does it line up with what you said when the financial heart was several kilometers away from here? I don't know. Because she seemed to be pointing what for me is the west, but what the fuck do I know? Could be just we're watching upside down.
It's so small you can't even see it on the map. No, wait. There it is. North of Jamrock, the strip of coast next to the Greater Rivershell Industrial Harbour. It looks downright despondent. No,
I could tell that without a map.
this is somewhere to be. This is all you have. But it's still something. Streets and sodium lights, the sky, the world.
Musty
You're
books,
still alive.
talking mailboxes. Grateful mailboxes even. That was good. No shame whatsoever, by the way. Okay, what are we gonna do with this other than sell it? The ape has closed its eyes, a kind expression adorning its face. It seems to be meditating. The detailed descriptions of everything kind of make me want to play Bot Kaidos now. I wonder if there's more links to make between this game and Bot Kaidos that I just haven't made yet. I mean, sorry for the outbreak. If people that are watching are not subscribed, I'm just gonna pause it for a bit. Just for a bit. It's actually just one more minute. I don't know what I should do after this. Should I continue? I got more lined up, but At the same time, I may just pre-record something for tomorrow afternoon, which I would consider in about 13 to 14 hours from now. Sometimes people show up on Sunday because where better to go than a deity's Twitch channel on the Sunday. I don't know, it's just something in Sunday afternoon that works for people. Saturday, a lot of people seem to be streaming. Let me check actually. Who's on? Lots of people on, but not really anyone I'm very loyal to. Not any friends. Huh. But yeah, usually there's plenty to pick. So Saturdays for me, a bit of a lazy one. Usually I do the longer chill streams then. Disco Elysium is perfect for Saturday night. Plus, it matches the theme, Saturday Night Fever and all that. Saturday night, semi-live, if you will. I think that's enough of the ad break. Maybe you've broken free from it now. Also didn't realize it's the end of the video. I mean, there are fictional animals in both games. As we'll find out from the lady in the wheelchair. Haven't seen any cow pigs though. But I'm sure I'll make more connections over time. Do we need to do anything with the car? I think for this session, I'll leave it at this. It's been more than an hour. And there's so much more dialogue to exhaust and to research. I'm gonna quickly try a perception check, just because my perception is low. I don't expect to pass it. Might as well try.
Yes?
No, not you. The green thingy. Yeah.
An inconspicuous pile
It's still locked. Never mind. I already filled it a while ago. But I mean, what is there to perceive? There is a building behind these slats. I don't know what you expect. These boards. Sorry. I just like the word slats. It sounds like sluts. Kuno like sluts. Kuno gangbang sluts. At least 12 a day. I wanna... Kuno got strong arms for throwing rocks and jerking off. They all love that. Sluts all love Kuno's arm. I like it deep up in... Oh, fuck off. I like the Kuno's arm up in them. Like Jim Henson had his fucking arm up Cookie Monster. Kuno saw it. He did. Taking... Just feeling up the crapper. The Cookie Monster crap. Okay, that's enough. Goodbye. Welcome back. My beautiful dove, you are muted. Oh, God. Sorry. So, also, I'm outing myself with my socks. Check this. When I was stretching, I realized, oh yeah, those socks are pretty gay. Pretty gay. So, as I was saying, I thought it was a pretty good cliffhanger for Disco Elysium. And since there are people that are trying to follow the plot, I don't want to jump too much in one night. I think then that I will dig up some older VOD that I have in one of my playlists. That shouldn't matter for anyone new that comes in. I still got a few things to do. I don't really want to game right now myself, so I'm just gonna let the computer do its thing, sit here and watch, enjoy it. I don't see anyone online yet that I would watch myself right now. I mean, there are streamers I would watch, but none I'm particularly committed to, is what I mean. Now let's see. There is a new emote, as you can see in chat. Sadly not for followers, but I do notice the subscriber emotes are more, they call them, flexible. They can be used everywhere, so they do have an advantage. Don't wait for someone to give you a subscription. It won't happen here. I don't got sims like that. I don't have no sims like that. There was another streamer I watched the other night, and someone gifted me 6 months sub just for chatting there once. They were committed to the guy. That was interesting. It's not gonna happen here. Don't wait for it. But it's a cute emote. You want to see it? Sometimes you can request it from me. Have it bounce around. So let's see what else. New badge for subscribers at 9 months. I have one or two. I think I've just been streaming for a year. What happened with the ones that were in the first 3 months? I don't even remember them. I must have bullied them away. See, in the beginning, it wasn't my fault. I just attracted different kinds of people. And then I changed. So in a way, it is my fault. I don't know if it's not that everyone is gone. It's just that it was a different time. And the less is said about it, the better, I guess. Let's move on. But yeah, that means that nobody actually has a 1-year subscription yet. Now, I barely had subscribers in the beginning. I don't know what they were, but I am gonna go for Gunnar. Or just people I was at war with. Not in a serious note, but it sure as fuck wasn't the cozy environment for them. One of them is still mod, by the way. And I think he liked my toxicity. But people come and go. It's Twitch, people come and go. Maybe it's just on me for overthinking it. Also don't care if they want to go. Go! Go! That had better not be an interruption during the 5 minutes that I told. Well, actually, let's see what I got. Not this. Yeah, that is the beauty of a condenser mic. Someone opens shutter somewhere in a house or closes them. You hear it. Let me see. But it does help if I wanted to. In the beginning, it was actually nice because I gamed on my bed from far away. Sometimes I walked around the room a lot. Nowadays, I'm a bit less mobile, or I just have a pre-recording talking to you guys. Anyway, Breath of the Wild, older streams that were considered mostly free from OnlyFans, borderline OnlyFans content, so I'll leave it at that. Should be good. Enjoy.